Back outside, this is Avery Walsh trying to pressure things on. Got a shot on Cowder. May have went off of his pads there. This puck is loose in front. Finally possessed back initially by a defender. He almost loses it there and swiped up and bounced along the boards to head down as Caleb Hay will pursue it, as will Costanis. Costanis and company trying to get their first offensive attack here of the second period as that takes a hop, skip, and jump back along the board with about 9:25 left to go here in the second. Back slung along into the left circle and poked back out. Kept in the inside of the blue line barely there by one of the players in red. A good maneuver, but now it goes back out to the neutral zone as they have to reset. Have a line change there, so no icing chance. Out in front trying to ladle it up for a shot there was Jake Gessick. It was easily tapped away by Vigigliata. Vigigliata anticipates with his teammate bouncing this along the boards. A fan on the pass attempt and a quick pursuit down the other end of the ice. Here goes a chance for a one-on-one, just elbowed away with a breakaway attempt there by Irizarry. Bounce along the boards back to the neutral zone. Sepulveda on the possession. Several personnel changes happening. Part of the reason why Islip was fending off. Here goes Patrick Penny on a one-on-one breakaway. He can't get it through. Great positioning by Grant Cowder. Back out along the blue line at Henry Sepulveda. He got a shot off of there, went maybe in and out of the glove of Cowder. Here goes Henry Sepulveda again. He'll sling it along the boards in the area of his teammate, Patrick Penny. Penny trying to bounce it back. He had one in front trying to go for it. A good poke check there by Cowder to punch it back out, essentially. It would be funny if you've ever seen a goaltender punch a puck at one point, but not seen that here today. Ryan Schmaliker. He'll send it up, or at least attempt to. Went off of maybe one of his teammates' bodies there as Robert Cusack will try to fend it off with sending it to the other end of the ice. He'll ladle it up and keep the puck in his possession. Here goes Robert Cusack trying to pass it off to Penny. Penny going for a shot. That's wide of the post. To be more specific, Patrick Penny on that shot attempt since brother James wears 14. Go back out closer to the blue line, trying to swat at it. This will go past the blue line into the neutral zone. Alongside fighting for it here is Hunter Daloia. And a whistle stoppage there. Looks like we got an interference or cross check coming up and another power play. And looks like we play a little slow to get up on that check. Waiting to see which player it is that's slow to get up as he's helped off of the ice. Connetquot gold, that's Hunter Daloia, who takes a big hit, 650 mark. We got a power play coming up here for Connetquot, their first of the game. Connetquot on their first power play advantage of the game, trying to get their first goal of the game at a 4-0 disadvantage. As this will get back out into the neutral zone. Trying to reset the play here. Connetquot gold. They take it back down into the zone at first as East Islip will fend it off. Interference is the call against Henry Sepulveda, and he will sit in the box for another minute and a half. East Islip trying to fend off this power play. Flanagan sending it forward. And back inside of the neutral zone, about a minute left on the power play. Chance on a short-handed opportunity gets shut down with an offside. About 5:52 left to go here in the second. 4-0 lead for East Islip. First power play opportunity for Connetquot. Back out a long time winding down on the power play here. This gets swept up by Avery Walsh. Trying to poke at it. This will get sent back out. Connetquot will have to reset. And tripped up there on his skates. A little wipeout for Joel Antonio. Antonio back in possession. About 20 seconds left on the power play. Fanning on it there, Dexter trying to send it in. He's waiting for his teammate to get back on side and timed it right. Now he's along the boards. This will get sent back down and cleared. That should end the power play here. Good defensive stand on the man disadvantage. Islip not showing any signs of weakness so far. 4-0. They mostly kept it outside of their zone as Dexter fights for it. With the Dexter in the area, Patrick Penny. Clemens trying to play it forward. In the area, Katsanis. Back over Patrick Penny trying to weave it through with some fancy stick work and gets broken up by several jerseys in red. Here's Christian Clemens trying to bounce it around the defender. Clemens trying to set it up for an opportunity as it goes wide. Trying to wedge forward, Dexter. Back out along the circle. About 4 minutes left to go in this second period. Then this will go the length of the ice for an icing. Grant Cowder has had a tough night on goaltending side. Face-off initially won there by Aiello and company, but now East Islip will try to play it back out. Here's Eli Irizarry. He's got it along the blue line. We'll send it in so that he can get several of his teammates to substitute out on the defensive end. As they radar trying to go after the puck, it'll go past the blue line. And pursuing it is Flanagan. Flanagan in two red jerseys trying to pursue the puck. But Flanagan fends off the danger for a moment. This gets flubbed backwards by Irizarry. Several jerseys in white trying to play it forward. Here's Eli Irizarry past the blue line. He'll just dump it in. On the right side, this pass attempted there by Aiello. Back along the boards. About 2:43 left to go here in the second. Back along the boards, a decent crowd here for a developmental game between Connetquot and East Islip. A lot of passionate parents, family members, fans looking on at this one. Want to cheer on their respective teams. I know the Connetquot Gold parents still proud even with the result right now as this goes off of the pads of Cowder. Several Connetquot Gold players trying to clear the zone. East Islip in hot pursuit. Imagine a fight for it along the boards. You love to see that double hockey action going on with several of the fans as that is a hop, skip, and a bounce on the outside of the boards. Love to see the fans playing hockey of their own. Pretty much kind of field hockey, if you will, from those fans out there in the bleachers. Under 2 minutes left to go in the second period. Back out looking for the pass in front. Would have been a great opportunity for Eli Irizarry had he landed it in there as it gets gloved down by Cowder. About a minute 40 left to go here in the second period, a 4-0 lead. And the LI Sports Network staying really busy today. We'll get into that in a little bit. One of our great colleagues and great folks calling a lot of good games across the Northeast. 90 seconds and winding down left to go in this second period. 4-0 lead for East Islip over Connetquot in this developmental hockey game for the SCHSHL. Trying to pursue it along the left side, Connor Ivers. There's a bit of a body check there. Nothing too forcible. Almost another check there for one of the Islip players. Jack Iliano trying to fight for it as this will go back out into the East Islip section of the ice. Back out of possession, Montiori. Pressure forward. This will get back in possession to Daloia. Cross back down, Sepulveda. Sepulveda trying to fight for it here. He'll poke it along, trying to get it to the area of Montiori. Chance for Sepulveda trying to weave it around the defense that maybe got off of the stick of Hoffman. Back out trying to send it towards the net as this will go back to final 20 seconds, going for a shot in front as Cowder shuts it down. A good chance in front from Jack Iliano. Iliano looking for his first goal or first point of the game. Already two teammates make that 4, all credited with separate goals in Ivers, Penny, Cusack, and Walton. Penny leading the team with total points as he's got 1 goal and 1 assist. Final seconds winding down here in the second period. As it looks like Connetquot Gold will settle for just playing this out to end the second frame. 4-0 the score line here in period number 2. We head to the third on the LI Sports Network. Start of the third period here at the rinks. Spencer Thompson bringing you the action here. Walter Mitchell, our producer, called Wally around the LISN family. You got this Connetquot, Sayville, Smithtown, Hapauge JV hockey game going on right now, as is the NECHL playoffs between Rutgers and Farmingdale. You also got another development. You also got these 3 games all going live here on the LI Sports Network. A lot of busy action here. All of our respective colleagues, be sure to split screen all these games. Give some love to the other folks calling the other games around the Northeast. Club hockey playoffs in full swing as well. High school playoffs included in the last couple of weeks. And we continue action here as this goes back down the other way. East Islip back to the section of the ice they started for the beginning of the game. Connetquot Gold as well. 4-0 game. Connetquot trying to look at least for one goal here to have a good chance on. He's going out on somewhat of a high note or a positivity. The last two matchups, they were able to score at least one goal. Scored one on January 5th in their 9-1 loss and scored 3 on October 29th, 2025 in their 6-3 loss. Again, both teams just trying to finish things out as this will still head back down along the boards. Trying to wedge this forward and ladle back out by Aiello. That's the danger still fending here as it's pursued by Lucas Long. Lucas Long in possession looking for a pass off and a one-timer shot. Would have been great had that been set up for Patrick Penny, as he had a prime position to send that in. Penny on the backwards pass attempt. He'll get back the puck in front for his teammate. And trying to go there was Nico Walton, who could not get it on net. Walton just looked as it gets flung back along the boards into possession of one of the opponents. Back out into East Islip's end of the sheet as this goes back for Patrick Penny. He'll try to send it forward. Essentially a 2-on-1, but this is fended away by Raymond Brusielowitz III. A chance in front, and East Islip has got a 5-0 lead. A goal scored for Lucas Long after having an assist earlier on. He's got 2 points, and at the 13:07 mark, it's now 5-0. And we are back to action, 5-0, as Connetquot tries to get something going here in their third matchup. I should say East Islip trying to prevent Connetquot from getting something going in this third matchup they've had. They've allowed a combined 4 goals in the last 2 matches on the 25-26 season. But the players trying to poke this one off as it goes into Brusielowitz trying to go for a shot as this will go wide of the post. James Penny cleaning it up. Cusack trying to send it back down the length of the ice. Gets it out to the neutral zone to force a reset here for Connetquot. Just inside the blue line, the players in red managing to keep it in and keep this offensive threat alive. Back along to possession, bounce along the boards. And ladle this around. It'll go along the backside again, trying to fend it off is Landon Flanagan. Landon Flanagan again in possession, trying to send it forward. He'll tap this back out. Weaving it around, Eli Irizarry. They've got a little bit of numbers, a 2-on-1. Irizarry trying to send it forward, and Grant Cowder will shut down the rebound attempt. Saw Robert Cusack trying to crash the net on a second chance opportunity and shut it down. About 11 and change left to go here in the third. 5-0 lead for East Islip. Although they're known as East Islip Black, primarily wearing their white jerseys and black helmets, black finish on the shoulder pads, and black pants and socks as this goes on a far-off shot. Sepulveda missing on the attempt, but he'll take it back. Try to get a pass off for the one-timer. Good opportunity by Luke Montiori. And back out, a 3-on-3, trying to shovel it forward. That lucky bounce could have been a great one-timer had it been attempted by Jake Gessick. And standing on the pass attempt there is Hoffman as East Islip tries to get numbers. And it looks like they had a player offside, waved off by the official trying to go forward on the shot there. It was maybe Ivers as this goes back along the boards. And East Islip bounces this along the boards. Connor Ivers trying to pursue the puck on the backside. This goes up inside of the neutral zone, and Sepulveda tries to send it back down and does to give East Islip a line change. probably give Connetquot Gold a chance to change the personnel on the offensive side as well as this gets sent up. Trying to go for it here. Pass off. The attempt there at Montiori. In the area of Sepulveda. Has a fight for it along the blue line, trying to wedge it around forward. This gets poked by Chamaliker. Here's a chance in the middle, trying to weave it around several defenders on a shot that gets not securely gloved, but Connor Ivers on a great shot. Cowder shutting it down. Back on the outside of the blue line, making it look easy on the weave around, a shot that goes off of the glove of Cowder. Trying to get a good setup there, but couldn't finish it off. About 9 and change left to go in regulation. A 5-0 lead here for Connetquot to recover from if they want to mount some sort of comeback. East Islip leading 5-0. Out on the right side, Connetquot's Tyler Kengod trying to go for a shot there. It goes wide. That's Jake Gessick firing one off. Let's go back out on the outside of the blue line. Some fancy work and lucky bouncing there as this is a one-on-one opportunity. Looking for the shot. He scores! Connor Ivers with his second goal of the game. And it's now 6-0 with 8:59 left to go in regulation. 13:07, Lucas Long scored with Nico Walton on the assist. And now Connor Ivers at 8:59. 2 goals scored here in the third period to try and shut things down. And East Islip has been on a different level this game, despite being at 5-10-1 and their opponent being at 1-16. Both teams have respectively had their struggles in the developmental league this year, but at the end of the day, both teams, again, it's developmental, as you see a little pushing and shoving from several players there. Bit of action, Nathan Burns going up and shoving and fighting. As you see Caleb Hay throwing his hands up. Love to see that they're already developing some tendencies from NHL players at this young of an age. But the point I was getting to with before the fighting broke out, both these respective teams, even with the score being as one-sided, it's all about fun here in the developmental side of the SCHSHL. It's nice when you get a win, but both these respective teams just trying to focus on building character and building the next generation of hockey players. Nathan Burns will be called for roughing for 2 minutes, as this will be the second power play of the game for East Islip. East Islip with a man advantage for the second time in the competition. Note they did capitalize on their first power play on the other end of the ice. That was a power play goal at the 11:21 mark by Connor Ivers. Now Connetquot trying to at least go on a positive side and fend off this man disadvantage here. They've got about a minute and a half to do it. Back out on the other side, Patrick Penny trying to send this into the zone. The teammates need to stay onside, tiptoeing on the blue line are several of players in white. Minute and change left to go on this man advantage for Connetquot to fend off. And they're fending it off pretty well on the other side of the ice, just wasting time there. But now you've only got about 3 players make that 2 on the other end of the ice. Lucky bounce, good footwork, looking for the shot. It gets swatted down by Cowder. He says, no, sir, not going to let you take a shot that easy from distance. As you got about 45 seconds left to go on this power play. Connetquot trying to send it down the length of the ice as this will get sliced at by one of the jerseys in red. It'll go all the way to the goaltending side. About 35 seconds left to go on the power play. Connetquot fending it off pretty well so far on a line change, almost swatted for a chance on a shorthanded opportunity as this goes out to the neutral zone. Several red jerseys fighting for it. And now Matthew Fielding will send it back to the other end of the rink. Final seconds winding down on the man advantage, and that is going to do it almost here on the power play with about 5 left. And a good showing from the Connetquot defensive end. They fend off the power play here in the third. Goes back out to the other side. Sending it in there is James Penny as this will get shoveled over. Penny and Iliano fighting for it along the boards, as was another team in, as that skips and gets basically booted away by Cowder off of his pad. This goes past the blue line and past the stick reach of James Penny, and will go all the way down to the goaltending side as we have a 6-0 advantage here. About 6 minutes left to go in the game. 2 more developmental/junior varsity games here on the LI Sports Network that we'll be covering for you from the rinks. This is the North Rink. Got several other rinks in action right now. You catch all these games live here on the LI Sports Network. A 6-0 advantage for East Islip over Connetquot here late in the third. Swept up Connetquot, trying to get this around several white jerseys. And trying to get some stick possession here, trying to stay on side are the boys in red, and they do, as this gets possessed by Ruselowitz. The third gets past the reach of one of his teammates as they try to get a pass off and just get some sort of shot on net. It's getting sliced out by Connetquot, and it gets gobbled up by several white jerseys. Gets back out on the other side of the blue line, poke at it in the neutral zone. Fighting for it is Eli Irizarry. Irizarry with a chance he could go for a backhanded shot as Cowder could not secure it, but a good shot there by Eli Irizarry. A name that has been called a lot in the games I've called here on this developmental leagues. Don't be surprised if Eli Irizarry with some more training could get something done, as that goes off of the shoulder pad of Cowder. Shot from Connor Ivers. Several players slicing at it as this goes around, trying to stay on his feet. A wipeout there for Sepulveda. Trying to get a pass off in front for another shot at East Islip, playing as if they're down by a goal or two late in the game. Relentless pursuit by East Islip Black. Back out across the blue line. Looking for some passes off here. Jump out pass the red line. This will go back into the neutral zone as Connetquot Gold tries to get something going. Jonathan Katsanis trying to send it in on a pass. This one a little bit of a mistake and trying to go in front. This gets almost gloved down by Vigigliata. Then back deep. Here's a chance on a one-on-one with the defender trying to weave it around for a shot, and a great move there by Luke Montiori, and an even better save by Grant Cowder. Several red jerseys trying to go up and pursue something here, as this will just be a shot on net from distance. Vigigliata easily fending that off with 3:27 left to go here in the competition. Trying to possess it here on a potential shot. Looking for more of a pass was Connor Ivers. Thought about loading up to get it on net. Goes back out to the neutral zone. And Connetquot Gold just trying to generate some opportunity here. They might have one, but it gets poked away by one of the defensemen. This goes back out, a hop, skip, and punched away by Vigigliata. Look for a chance in front. Several red jerseys in front of the net, but couldn't get enough of a load up to give a danger to Luke Vigigliata. Here's another chance on the outside. Connor Ivers trying to weave around several red jerseys. The chance there gets broken away by the defense of Connetquot Gold. Back out, Katsanis. This gets woven around initially by Ivers, but good stick breakup. Back out to the neutral zone, about 2 and change. Back out into the neutral zone. Poke here. Another chance here for East Islip, trying to add more to their lead. Send it back out along the circle. Pass off, looking for an opportunity. Avery Walsh. Get loose here, trying to poke at it. And maybe a chance here for Connetquot Gold. Here's Vasilowicz the third with a shot. It goes off of Vigliata and finally fended away by one of his defensemen on a pass, trying to load up for a shot on the other side. It was a good switch, but not enough time to take the shot off. Several players trying to poke at it here, but just good stick work by Montiori. Montiori with a shot, trying to follow through with it on the attempt was Cusack, and it goes out of play. About a minute and a half remaining here in this competition. 6-0 lead. Connetquot Gold just trying to at least get one goal. They do not get completely shut out against East Islip for the first time in the 25-26 season. And I believe we do have a timeout here on the ice by East Islip. At least that's what it looks like. Timeout called here by East Islip Black. Getting a chance to think things over, maybe rotate some of their other guys in for the next competition here. About a minute and change, under 90 seconds left to go here in the game. Face-off won initially by Connetquot Gold. This will go loose, and trying to poke it forward there is Etweiler. Going back out alongside the blue line, trying to poke forward here, and it's James Penny. This will be swatted back out by James Etweiler. Back out to the neutral zone. On the other end, in the possession of Patrick Penny. And he trying to weave it around defenders as that gets poked away by Grant Cowder. Grant Cowder just as one of his teammates tries to shovel it forward. About 45 seconds left to go here in regulation. Goes back out in the possession of Nico Walton. Nico Walton looking to send it over. This will bounce along the boards and head back the other way. Patrick Penny. Face off here, poke away. Flanagan trying to weave it through, and no chance for Cowder to try and save it there. Broken up by several players. 20 seconds left. This will go back down and bounce on the outside of the blue line in East Islip section of the ice. And more than likely, they could just possess the puck here and wind things down, as they have fought valiantly, the Connetquot Gold players. But East Islip Black is going to win for the 6th time on their 2025-2026 season. And you could see all of them celebrating the shutout for their goaltender and Luke Vigliata. Great showing on the goaltending side, too. Didn't really have that much to worry about on the challenge side, but that is win number 6 for East Islip Black, loss number 17 for Connetquot Gold, and the teams will still shake each other's hands, even with the final score being so one-sided. That's your final score, 6-0. East Islip's Developmental Black team gets the victory over Connetquot Sayville, to be exact, their Developmental Gold team, by a final score of 6-0. For our producer, Wally Mitchell, all the hardworking men and women that make this run so smoothly, I'm Spencer. 2 more contests set to take place on this rink as we continue with JV/developmental action, as well as other playoff action here on the LI Sports Network.